But is there any mindsets or any tips that you would share with us or have any ideas in this piece?
I think kind of like what we talked about offline, right? Like how we
Yeah.
want to use our money.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the things I really had to find my own way of, like, because the financial industry, and I love them, I came from them, right? Like, but
Hmm.
our financial advisors and CPAs and things of that sort, like we've kind of grown up thinking like there's this one way to use our money, and I really
Yeah.
want to encourage everybody to go back to, like, what do you value, right? Like you and I've
Hmm.
talked about before, like we both value eating healthfully, right?
Yeah.
And that might look like more than maybe the average, right? Like, and here we go back to like comparing ourselves, right? But like that might look more than what the average American spends on food, but that is something that is really important to me. And
Hmm.
so, not judging yourself, like what is it that you value? And if it is food, I like to focus, I don't necessarily like to focus on minimizing our expenses,
Hmm.
and also like there are ways that you can kind of be savvy with, like
Yeah.
there's certain stores that I buy,
Yeah.
the like Trader Joe's is way less expensive than, a different store that I go to. And so just knowing kind of like where do I want to buy my food and farmers markets and things of that sort. And I think it's just kind of like what is important, what do you value, and then using your money in ways that, that honor that, and um yeah, allow for that.
Yeah. And I love that it's definitely, I feel like I'm a recovering overthinker about it, is trying to change that mindset of limiting ourselves and focusing that. Is that touching on the 3D, 5D piece of money that you also
Probably
practice?
the 5D, right? Like the emotional side of money.
Mhm.
Like when I say the 3D, and this is just a word that I decided to make up because I was
I
like,
love
how do I
it.
explain this to
It's
people,
great. Yeah.
But the 3D of money is like our actual, and money isn't even a real thing, right? Like they've cited like the sources of like 4 to 8% in circulation, right? Like it isn't even a
Yes.
thing anymore. It's just numbers on a screen. But like I kind of use 3D of like, okay, your
Mhm.
taxes when you sit down, or you look at your investment
Yep.
accounts, or your saving account. But the 5D is like emotionally, like how do we feel when we transact and circulate money, right? And
Mhm.
so that's something else that I've changed, is like circulating, right? Like it's coming back to me. I'm just
Mhm.
I'm just circulating it versus like money comes in, money goes out. Like that's kind of what we're taught, right? Like we have income and expenses versus like money's just constantly circulating all throughout.
Mhm.
And so it's really like the emotions, right? Like why are we limiting ourselves for really good food? Like we feel better when we eat well. At least I do, right? Like
Yeah.
we our bodies love it. And I mean, one could even, I don't want to say argue, but use the an example, like there are people that spend the amount of money we spend on pharmaceuticals, right? And
Mhm.
so, like, are you taking care of your body? We have one body, it's our only home we will ever
Yep.
have. Like,
Yep.
why aren't we valuing that, like, at the very top of the list,
Yeah. I agree that it's also a piece, there's like a cycle with it, with the healthy eating, the healthy mindfulness. As we spend in certain pieces in the food area, we have to spend less in some of the medicine, or the medicine side of it is kind of what
Yeah.
my family has found. It's been
Yeah.
this trade-off in a
Yep.
powerful positive way. So that's
Yeah.
been really good.